Hello everyone, this is Cooking with Matthew. Today we're going to be doing a rabbit hash. I've already got like 8 cups of water in here. And I'm going to cut up 1 lemon right here. I just wrote down all these ingredients on the thing anyways. So then I got my rabbit here. It's the one I just processed really just about 10 minutes ago. Stick that in there. That rabbit weighed almost 4 pounds. I got 2 sprigs of basil, 2 sprigs of thyme, and 2 sprigs of sage. I'm gonna put that in there. And I've got 1 onion. You can leave that onion whole because it don't, or just in rough pieces. This all that's gonna get strained out. I've got 2 carrots here. So with that being said, I hope I got some garlic because I just went to the store. Yeah, I do. And I forgot my wallet, and I end up, man, God looks out for me, because like I needed the potatoes, the carrots, and the celery, and man, I had just enough change in the car to to pay for that stuff. That's 2, 4. We'll do 4 cloves of garlic. I didn't write that down yet. Four cloves of garlic, and let's see, I'm gonna do some. I had my little measuring spoons here a while ago, but where I put them at, nobody knows, I guess. I just had them here. It was like right here. Oh, here they are. I'm gonna do. The 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, and then I've got some cayenne pepper here. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. If you want to use black pepper, you can. I'm just going to give it a little bit of heat. So we'll write that down. Two teaspoons cayenne, 1 tablespoon kosher salt. Then I'm just going to put the lid on this thing. I got backwards. And then we're going to put it on slow roast, and we'll be back. Hello everyone, so we're back. Rabbit's been cooking for a minute. I've got the rabbit pulled off the bone here. Got my potatoes here. It's about 2 pounds of potatoes. I had a 4-pound sack. It's about 2 pounds. I got some oil over here getting hot. Throw them right in the wok I've got here. See what I'm going to season this with. We got some white pepper here. Let's see. I got my salt here. And where's my measuring spoons? Right here. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of kosher salt on these potatoes. I got this wok the other night at Walmart, and they had like a cheap one. It was like $8. They had this one which was $30, and they had one I really liked for like $40, but like, it might have been $45. It was cast iron. That thing was too heavy, even for me. It was too heavy. 1 teaspoon of white pepper. You can use black pepper if you want. This is what I have. I'm always missing my black pepper for some weird reason. I got this right here. We're going to add that stuff I just did. Our little things. So that's going to be 2 teaspoons salt, kosher, 1 teaspoon white pepper, and try to keep these things stirred. They will stick. So at the bottom, we got going on here. Then I've got 1 onion here. That's probably a medium to a large onion. So I've never made this rabbit hash. I've heard my granny talk about it. She won't eat rabbit no more, but this really came from my granny's, this thought process behind what my granny was talking about versus what I have in my head now. That was 2 potatoes, 2 pounds of potatoes. I've got some chanterelles here. This is about 5 ounces. Is what I weighed earlier, somewhere in that neighborhood. We're going to do this all in one dish, so I'm going to do the gravy and everything in there. That's what we're looking at right now. So you got to keep it stirred. We're doing sort of like a fried potato, but then I'm going to do some other stuff with it. Like I said, I got this rabbit meat here and these chanterelles I picked. I need to put some more oil in here. That's to use your own judgment on the oil, amount of oil you're going to use. I think it's roughly been a quarter to a half a cup. You want to keep these potatoes stirred. See, I like this wok because you have to flip it a lot easier. So I'm gonna, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add these mushrooms in there to it. Actually the mushrooms I'll do last. I'm gonna start adding some of this rabbit meat to it. I might end up just putting about half that rabbit meat in there. Probably about 2 pounds of rabbit meat. I'm gonna put it in here so it can brown too. Let me go get this little, I got a bottle of white wine here. We're gonna do a splash of white wine. That's about a half a cup, maybe a quarter cup, just say a splash. I'm doing that sort of deglaze this pan right here. Cause some of this stuff it's got some what you call fondant on here. I'm trying to loosen that stuff up so it don't burn. And that white wine helps deglaze all that stuff. Bring the camera over so you can see what I'm doing. Get this thing on pretty high. You just want to scrape, keep that bottom scrape. I ain't got a Teflon pan. This is didn't cast iron, but it's see that stuff on the bottom. You see it, scraping it. You can smell it coming off. That's fondant they call it. There's a lot of flavor in that. So I've got that going. Put the lid on for a second. I'm gonna cut the temp down just a little bit. So that's let's see. about 2 pounds of rabbit. And that's, I've got I'm going to say a quarter LB mushrooms. That was 1 onion. So this hash is actually going to be, the gravy and everything is going to be in here instead of me doing all that stuff separate, because like she said that made a gravy, but I'm just going to use some in stock, and it's going to turn out real good with this mushroom, with mushrooms in it. So I'm going to go ahead and throw these mushrooms in now. This looks like a lot more than a quarter pound, but that's what I weighed on the scales earlier. I got some kitchen scales. That's about what it ended up being. The mushrooms ain't gonna take long. So now what I'm gonna do, I don't want to just gravy this thing to death. I just want to sort of coat it. So we're going to see. I'm going to see what 2 cups looks like. This broth has got all the flavor you need in it. Go ahead and add me 2 cups of broth, and that looks like that's going to be good. I'm going to crank that thing back up on high. We'll be back. Alright guys, so we're back. I'm going to show you what we're looking like over here. I've been letting it boil like that for about 10 good minutes. I'm going to cut it down a little bit, so look. To thicken this up, I'm going to do a little cheat method my granny barber taught me. I ain't got no cornstarch. I don't like using flour once I've got to this point. That's instant potatoes. That's about a half a cup. We're gonna see what that does. I've got a full cup there if I need it, but you know, you can always add more of it. It's hard. Like, it's just the season is where it needs to be, so I didn't want to do anything goofy and have to add more liquid to it. I did end up adding another quart though. No, not another quart, but another cup of broth, so that's 3 cups. I'm gonna cut this off. This gravy ain't gotta be crazy thick, so like the half a cup of instant potatoes was fine. Alright, so I'm fixing to show you what this looks like. Oh, and I did add one other ingredient while the camera was off. I ended up adding some kitchen bouquet. This stuff's always got good, you know, good for giving stuff color and flavor. So like you're gonna see, it's not really got a lot of gravy, so I get worked up. Shit. I think I've been off camera for a minute. It worked. It worked exactly how I needed to work. So sorry about that. That's what it ends up looking like. The dish. I'll take you over and see what the pot itself looks like. See, it's still just going. It made quite a bit. This is enough to feast on for a few days, or a whole family to eat. There's just one rabbit. Did that and 2 pounds of potatoes and some mushrooms that's growing wild in the woods. I fixed to try it to let y'all Oh, and there was one thing else that I didn't when I add the mushrooms, they had garlic in there, so it was like 4 cloves of garlic. I added to the recipe though. That's some A1 stuff right there. Get that off the fire. Okay, so we did 1 rabbit, which was about 4 pounds. It was a big rabbit. 2 carrots. This is for the broth. 2 carrots, 1 onion, 3 sprigs of basil, 3 sprigs of thyme, 3 sprigs of sage, 1 whole lemon cut up, 8 cups of water, 4 cloves of garlic, 2 teaspoons of cayenne, 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. That's what the broth was, and I put it in an Instant Pot for I just set on the cooking, the slow cook method. It was like 5 hours or something. So there's plenty of broth. Well, if you do the quicker one, it sucks up a lot of it. I think it don't make as much. You can just steam it real quick, or not steam it, but pressure cook. So that's the broth. Then we go down to the actual thing itself. Now I used oil. I don't ever normally put that. We'll put oil as needed. That's what I used. I just used some olive oil blend or something. No, pure olive oil. I used 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of white pepper, 2 pounds of potatoes. I actually used the whole rabbit, so I put 2 pounds, but it was almost 4 pounds. Let's just say 1 rabbit. So it was about 4 pounds of rabbit though, like the before I pulled the bones off. So let's just say 1 rabbit, 1/4 pound of mushrooms. It may be more of an 8 ounce because them are like lighter or something. It looked more like a 1/2 pound of mushrooms if you're from the grocery store, but it was 1/4 pound what I weighed. 1 whole onion, 3 cups of the broth, splash of white wine, 4 cloves of garlic, 1/2 cup of instant potatoes to thicken it with. Oh yeah, and it was 1 tablespoon of kitchen kit. Okay. There's the recipe. If you can read my handwriting. If not, I just read it out loud to you. Pause and get bigger. But that's till next time. Y'all have a blessed day.